In the small town of Willow Creek, where maple trees lined the streets and the school bell rang promptly at 8 a.m., Ethan Carter was a name that struck fear into the hearts of many at Willow Creek Middle School. At 14, Ethan was broad-shouldered, with a scowl that seemed permanently etched on his face. His reputation as a bully preceded him: lunch money snatched, books knocked from hands, and cruel taunts hurled at anyone who dared cross his path. He ruled the schoolyard with a posse of followers who laughed at his every jab. But deep down, Ethan's world was far from the invincible facade he projected. Ethan's home life was a storm of chaos. His father, a truck driver, was rarely home, and when he was, his temper flared unpredictably. Ethan's mother worked double shifts at the diner, leaving him to fend for himself most nights. The anger and loneliness he felt at home spilled over at school, where he found power in making others feel small. One crisp autumn day, a new student arrived, Mia Lopez, a quiet girl with bright eyes and a sketchbook always tucked under her arm. Mia was an easy target, small, shy, and new. Ethan zeroed in on her during lunch, snatching her sketchbook and flipping through it mockingly. "What's this, doodles of your imaginary friends?" he sneered, tossing it into a puddle. The crowd laughed, but Mia didn't cry. She just picked up the soggy book, wiped it on her sleeve, and walked away. Something about her calm defiance unsettled Ethan. Days passed, and Ethan continued his reign, but Mia's quiet resilience gnawed at him. She never fought back, yet she never seemed broken. One afternoon, Ethan found her sitting alone under the school's oak tree, sketching. Curiosity got the better of him. "Why don't you just tell a teacher?" he asked, half taunting. Mia looked up, her eyes steady. "Because I know you're not as mean as you act. People who hurt others are usually hurting themselves." Her words hit Ethan like a punch. No one had ever seen through him like that. For the first time, he felt exposed, but not in a way that made him want to lash out. Instead, he walked away, her words echoing in his mind. Over the next few weeks, Ethan watched Mia from a distance. She was kind to everyone, even the kids others ignored. She helped a stuttering classmate during a presentation, shared her lunch with a kid who forgot his and never seemed to hold a grudge. Ethan began to notice the warmth her kindness created, a stark contrast to the fear he inspired. One day, Ethan saw a group of older kids cornering Mia's younger brother, Lucas, behind the gym. Without thinking, Ethan stepped in, his presence enough to scatter the group. Lucas, wide-eyed, mumbled a thank you. Ethan shrugged, muttering, "Don't mention it." But inside, something shifted. Helping felt good. Ethan started small. He stopped taking lunch money. He picked up a dropped book instead of kicking it. His posse, confused, drifted away, but Ethan didn't care. He began talking to Mia, awkwardly at first, asking about her sketches. She showed him her drawings, vivid landscapes and portraits that seemed to capture the soul of their subjects. "You're really good," he said, surprised by his own sincerity. Mia smiled. "You could draw too if you tried." She gave him a spare sketchbook, and though he laughed it off, he kept it. Late at night, when the house was quiet, Ethan started sketching, clumsy lines at first, but they gave him a way to pour out the feelings he couldn't say aloud. Mia became his unlikely friend, teaching him to draw and, in a way, to feel again. By spring, Ethan was different. He apologized to kids he'd hurt, starting with Mia. "I was a jerk," he admitted, head bowed. "You didn't deserve that." Mia just nodded. "I know. But you're not that guy anymore." Her forgiveness felt like a weight lifted. The school noticed the change. Kids stopped flinching when Ethan passed. Teachers gave him second chances. He joined the art club, where his sketches, raw and honest, earned quiet admiration. He even started helping Lucas with his math homework, becoming a big brother figure. One day, as Ethan and Mia sat under the oak tree, sketching side by side, he realized he hadn't felt angry in months. The hole in his chest, the one his father's absence and his mother's exhaustion had carved, was starting to fill with something new. Hope, maybe, or pride in who he was becoming. "I used to think being strong meant making others feel weak," Ethan said, staring at his sketch of the oak tree. Mia looked at him, her pencil pausing. "Being strong means lifting others up. You're getting there, Ethan." By the end of the year, Ethan wasn't the bully anymore. He was the guy who stood up for the underdog, who drew pictures that made people smile, who proved that even the hardest hearts could soften. And as he walked across the schoolyard, sketchbook in hand, he felt something he hadn't in years: peace.